Thanks a million.
Brian, are you watching Crokes jealously at the
Awesome.
moment?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yes and no. Like, I tuned into their Aero game. I saw a few minutes of it. Wasn't too impressed with it, so I turned it off quick enough. But yeah, it's a sense of what could have been. I know, like, would you have beaten Bowden in the county final? Who knows? Because I probably would have backed them to win the county final before the game. So, um, but yeah, got us close, too close, I suppose, because it kind of builds the eagerness or momentum for next year within the club. So, lots to live up to. Brings its own kind of pressures, but it was great from us, from our point of view in Raheny. We were kind of living in a sense of that we'd like to achieve, but we probably won't, or we're probably a bit away from that, or a few years away from it, or whatever. But it kind of gives us a sense now that we're close-ish, maybe. And if we kind of improve a little bit next year, that we could have a crack at it. So, yeah, it's going to be a long year again next year, hopefully.
Sounds like you surprised yourselves a little bit with how well he did.
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah. As I said, like, it's kind of a sense of last year, like the year previous, for example, we were in relegation against Clontarf. Gladly sent them down. I will add, our local rivals. But so yeah, it just shows you can, it'll swing whatever way. A sense of surprise, but then again, like when you watch it back, we were well able for it, well and kind of in control at times, and well able for that kind of standard that Crokes have set for years. So surprising, but kind of at the same time expected. Like, there's three, like myself, Brian Howard, excuse me, Sean McMahon. I've been with Dublin now for a long time, and people have said to us, "How come you aren't achieving more?" So, yeah, it was nice to bring it on this year, and as I said, hopefully, like, we got a great bounce off Rob Henley joining our team in Raheny this year. A couple of other lads, Darren Lunny from Carlow, he joined us working in Dublin at PwC, and they added their own. We've been kind of following the Crokes model, I suppose, in many ways, from bringing lads in. But no, they added to us massively. So hopefully we can have a crack at it next year.
Where you've got more intercounty players coming into the panel, can you feel the standards rising with other players as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we felt that with Rob Henley. Like, it was tough for us because you'd finish with Dublin, come back into Raheny, and you're kind of saying you want to add, obviously, but you don't want to be the county player that's coming back in either and just kind of taking over. So there was kind of a balancing act there. But Rob was very much behind the scenes. He was brilliant. He was adding in things that we had never done on a club scene, like repping kickouts and stuff like that, and kick out plans. And he was a free taker. We'd never had a consistent free taker. So you can absolutely feel that kind of standard just drop into your team straight away. And you feel the benefit from it. It brings on players who are training with them every day, and when we're not there, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, got a huge bounce off it, for sure.
What do you think you can do over the next few years that will bring you that bit closer?
On the pitch, I think there's a couple of things away from the pitch, but on the pitch, just finalise game plans and stuff like that. Very, very basic levels. Like, having a consistent free taker was just huge for us this year because we'd never had that. We lost games by a couple of points over the years. But off the pitch as well, develop our training facilities, which we're trying to do. There's a massive fundraising effort now this year with Raheny. Like, the week before the Crokes game, we're training on half a soccer astro. Do you know what I mean? And the ladies are the other end, and they have their own final. So, and that's not ideal prep. But so just small things like that will help massively. But again, it just shows you're not that far away, and if you kind of tweak a few things, you never know what could happen.
Did you want to take a penalty, or did the forwards not let you?
So I couldn't kick snob or rope that day. So genuinely, whatever happened to me, I could usually back myself, and I haven't kicked one in years. So I'd just been missing all day. Like, I don't think I'd scored, and I missed a really easy chance in extra time or normal time or whatever, like from the 20-metre line. So when it came to penalties, I went up to Brian Howard, who know me quite well. Like, don't get me wrong, when Dublin are practicing them, I don't practice them. When Raheny never practiced them. So I went up to Brian Howard. I was like, "What do you think? Like, should I take one?" I was like, "I can't kick rope or snow off a rope here. Like, I can't kick a ball all day." So then I heard the five that were kind of taking them, and they're like the lads who played with soccer and fancy themselves, So I was like, "Look, over to you." And then you kind of look back, should I or shouldn't I? But like, one lad missed it, went over the bar.
So it was a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it was one miss out of 10. Like, do you know what I mean? And I went over the bar. So, and like, I would have played a lot of soccer underage with our club in Raheny and with the academy and the NDSL and all of that. And any pen I ever took seemed to miss or hit the post or went over the bar. So I'll leave that to the forwards. We'll see. Might take one next year.
How do you find the penalty shootouts, like, as a way to settle a game?
I enjoyed it. Like, there was a buzz to it. I remember, like, you're standing in your huddle or whatever, and was kind of saying, this is deadly, like, you know, and you're going to watch this on TV, and I know the debate is out there, like, is it fair to end the game like that? But it was a buzz. It was crap to lose, obviously, but just being part of that, I was like, I've never been part of anything like this. You know, obviously having the crowd, our home support, our club support is there. Going to penalties, extra time, drama. We got a leveler really late in extra time, so I enjoyed it. Like, and as tough as it was to lose, it's fair. You know, it's equal for everyone. So yeah, I enjoyed the experience. I hated losing, and you know, if I lost more of them, I'd be like, no, let's change this, rip up this script, go to a replay. But then you're kind of saying, well, Crogs have beaten us better on the day in a replay. You know, that kind of way. That's that underdog kind of favourite debate. So, look, it was great to be a part of it. And I've seen, like, Armagh or whatever, Derry beat Armagh and Ulster on penalties, and you're kind of saying, is this fair? Like, could they not get another day out of it? And I understand that. It's a fair argument, but I think it's just part of it. It's part of sport. You win or you lose, and once it's fair for everyone and they all get the same crack, whatever will be.
Is it unfair to make the same 5 lads go again? I mean, the GA has this thing of not wanting to be So
Something has
how
to be
can we
different.
make it fair?
No, I understand. Maybe, like, but because like if you miss your first one, like you saw with, was it Galway 2 years ago against Armagh in a semi-final or quarter final?
Then you have to come in,
So if you miss your first one and your head's gone, like, you know what I mean, and then you're forced to kind of take a second one. And did they put their player? He might have went second originally, and then they left him to last or something. You know, your head's gone. Like if you miss, your head's gone. So it's tough on lads to, you know, to be able to step up, or you're going to score the next one. It's unlikely. I'd say the percentages if you do some sort of study on it would be very low. So, yeah, I think like not many GA teams would have the 5 lads who back themselves as well. You know, the skill level. It is a skill and it's a talent. So, yeah, I think maybe if you were to tweak it, I'd say have a backup, have a 6th or a 7th or whatever, and let them go to knockout or what they call it. Sudden death. Sorry. Yeah,
How
sudden
do
death.
you reflect on 2023 with Dublin, Brian? Obviously, ended quite well.
Yeah, well, it was like best football year I've ever had. I think not personally, but just as a team, and the crack and the kind of proving people wrong, as I've said many times. Just it's been genuinely one of the best, one of my most enjoyable years ever. Doing it for Desi, doing it for Glucko coming back, Macker, to see James lift the cup is just like, honestly, I still, you know, there's a slow-mo that RTE show him lifting the cup, and it just gives you a buzz. Like you just get a little sorry, that's weird, but like you get a little buzz out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the best ever, genuinely. Reflecting on it, we've enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed it the last few weeks, but yeah, we're turning the corner now, and it's kind of creeping up on you. The month of December, and I'll do a team holiday to look forward to. But yeah, it's coming thick and fast, and you kind of say, oh, we won in July, we've ages now, but the club stuff runs on, and life runs on, and all of a sudden it's kind of December now. So, yeah, when I look back on whenever this year, as my career finishes or whatever, that this will stand out as one of the best ever. Yeah.
Ready to go again, hungrier than ever, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, like it doesn't change, and I've been asked today, like, kind of keeps it going or whatever. But it's kind of that longevity thing. It's like to stay at the top because it's a lovely view and it's a nice taste. No more so than any other county prepping this time of year. Like you set your goals and you're like, right, let's have it, let's roll on, and as motivated as ever. Like, you know, and we luckily enough we've tasted success in the past, and we've tasted backing it up and backing it up again. So hopefully the young lads on our team now will have felt that as well, and want more of it. Do you know what I mean? And know that feeling and stuff. So yeah, I think, like, you know, no team like Kerry last year, no team wants to win it twice. They want to set a legacy and prove that we're maybe the greatest of an era or greatest of an age. So it'll be no different. We'll be hoping to back it up next year and wearing this lovely new blue jersey. So.
When do you go back? When do you go back in?
Training.
Yeah.
So we'll come back from our holiday. I'm kind of extending 2 days, but back from our holiday and back to the beauty of Innisfails. Don't know if you've ever been there, but don't go in a rush. It's dark and dreary and wet most of the time. So back up there for pre-season kind of skills and runs and fitness tests and gym work here in Parnell Park. And so the month of December is kind of like blast us out of it, give us maybe half a day off at Christmas or something like that, and off for the dinner and back in. But no, so like, and we know the gig, like you know the routine, and you know that all your social stuff will have to come to an end at some point. And sadly, it's just around the Christmas week. Hopefully, I'll still get to a Damien Dempsey concert, but other than that, it's back in with Dublin and we're all on the league.
Where's the holiday?
over to the Caribbean. So we're going to Miami first, down to the Dominican Republic. One of these resorts for 8-9 days. So it'll be great. But I was saying outside, like, lads are weird on these holidays. They love going to the gym and like love doing runs and stuff. So I don't know what gets into them. So
That wouldn't be your buzz.
well, like I'll go, and I know it's a necessity. Like, you kind of don't want to be the odd one out then on the other end of it. So you go, but as you can probably tell, I'm not the chest press champion or the chin up champion in our group. But it's great, like lads kind of use it as a bit of a, like, obviously get the hair down, it's very chill and you're on the beach and life is good. But they kind of use it, from what I remember when we used to go on holidays, was they use it as a bit of an opportunity to get some gym work in, and you're not in work, so that relieves lots of stresses there. But yeah, they're mad for action when we're on holidays.
That's the start of December, is it?
It's coming up this Sunday, so we're going, we're flying out this Sunday, so we'll be back rolling, kind of the most of the group come back in maybe the 29th, 30th, they've extended on kind of 2 days, but back for the 1st of December. We'll see what happens.
A lot of lads dropping retirement hints after the
Yeah,
final.
no,
Has there been any?
Emotion gets their heads.
Yeah. Has there been any developments in that?
No official word. Genuinely, like, and as I said earlier, like, you're scared to ask. Like, you're not going to be like, here, Macca, like, are you retiring? What's the story? Like, you just see what happens and kind of hope for the best. So no official lines or words. I know
Stephen probably doing Instagram live or something.
Stephen won't talk to any of us for 6 months, and then he'll be back on a Tuesday night. And he'll do a big expose. I always slag him about the Pillar Caffrey did a Dublin documentary, if you remember that, years ago, where they interviewed players in like Croke Park, and it was like A Season in Blue or something it was called. It's still an RT player if you want to watch it. Like, Stephen was like holding court interviews, like, and I always slag him on it because he'd be slagging us about jersey launches or doing stuff, and I'm like, well, hang on a second, you set the precedent for this. So that was him in a previous life, but yeah, so no official line, no official word, and you're kind of saying, look, I'm scared to ask. You don't see players like, man, you won't be back until Crokes are finished, that kind of way. So who knows? And like, who cares? And like, sorry, obviously we care, but for now it's like, whoever comes back, all right, so be it. Here we go, and let's roll. And as I said, like, there's a great, really impressive crop of kind of 20, 21, 22-year-olds there now that have hopefully tasted it, sense it, feel it, and if we can cling on and add a little bit to it at my age or that age, then so be it. But no official words yet, thankfully.
You mentioned doing it for Desi. Obviously, a boost to have him stay on as well.
Yeah, massive. Yeah. I only know Desi, Jim, Desi. Do you know what I mean? So he's like, as I said, many a times in the past, he's like a second father to me. I would literally run through a wall for him. So for him to stay on is amazing. Kind of unexpected, but expected at the same time. Whatever way his contract fell, or I don't know. But I heard on Twitter, similar to most people. And it's great, and you kind of catch up. It's like, look, for him to sacrifice that for himself again after when it could, the easy opportunity for him. I'm sure it'll be like, look, All-Ireland winning manager twice, see you later. So for him to kind of give us another go is only builds our confidence, and thanks to him. So give another crack in the same management, and obviously there'll be new voices, innovation, and you're looking for little kind of 1%ers here and there with backroom staff and players and stuff. But once Desi's at the helm, I think he'll have the respect of the group, and know a little better. We'll give it a crack again.
When you were winning the 6 in a row, we heard all this. The game is rigged. The Dubs have all the money. Kind of quieting down a bit when you didn't win for 2 years, but
Yeah.
you've won it again. We're sitting here at a big sponsorship launch. Do you expect that to start coming again?
I don't know. Maybe not. Like, when you're at the top, like anyone in sport, you're kind of the focus of people's attention, and they'll kind of pick anything to kind of deflect from your achievements, or that's how I would feel about it. But look, there's no doubt that the last decade has been incredible with Dublin GAA as a whole. We've so well looked after in terms of our background, our food after training, if you're in an injury, whatever. But that's not dissimilar to every other county in the country, but across all codes, and that's what I see. It's improving massively. And I heard Stephen speak. We had a fundraising lunch for our team holiday last week, and Stephen kind of spoke about the money and the growth of Gaelic games across Dublin, and that's where I would see it. And we're like, don't get me wrong, we're far removed from that, but like, people, you're more than welcome to come up to Innisfails anytime. As I said, it's far from glamorous. It's far from a centre of excellence. As I said, we're incredibly well supported, but money and finances, and this is like, people kind of call me out in this debate, and I'll always just make the point of money isn't going to push me up and down the pitch in a Bronco test when I'm trying to beat James McCarthy across the line, or money isn't going to like get me going when we're going up to Derry or Oma, or it's something intrinsic as well that has driven our success. I absolutely acknowledge the benefit behind the scenes for young players, for GPOs in clubs, for facilities in clubs in Dublin. Undoubtedly, that's been a massive benefit. But yeah, I think we get less exposure to it, I think, as a senior team, but obviously we're the figurehead of it, so I can see where it comes as well.
Do you get annoyed by, you hear rumours and stuff like, oh, the Dubs all get their lunches couriered to them?
I wish.
What's the best one you've heard?
I heard years ago that like our partners and wives get match day expenses for like taxis and a few drinks. Like that was the biggest lot of waffle I've ever heard. So look, like there's rumours, and like as you say, when you're at the top and you're this figurehead of something, I don't care about it. I don't get too much into it, but I'd be like, oh, he's won because of the money. And I would say, right, well, you didn't see me slogging it in English Fails or in the gym, or the mundane stuff away from the lights that got me to this place as well. So yeah, that's where I was kind of try and balance it up a little bit.
What is it about James McCarthy that kind of lifted that kind of buzz that you talked about? You saw the slow-mo of him lifting the cup.
Yeah, he's a joke. Yeah, I say joke in the best possible way. I don't know. I'm sure you've all met James or seen James or interviewed him or whatever. He's a gentleman, first and foremost. He's just incredibly well reared or something. His morals are so like, he just like knows the way he wants to live, the way he wants to act. Has never got involved in controversies, anything like that. So credit to him, and he'll mill it out on a pitch, no problem. He's no saint on the pitch, but away from like just the person he is. And then in the dressing room, doesn't speak massively, but like is always the first. If you're in the shit, he's always the first, leading the charge. Like, do you know what I mean? You can imagine like he's something just pulling us along with him. Like, so that's how I see him. I get a sense of he's just like this spearhead of our whole team and of our whole county, like in a weird, like deeper way. He's just this like Titan warrior, like that's just pulling us all along with him. Sorry, so I just I hate the fella, but no, like, and the likes of Stephen is the same. Like they're just like these iconic men, like, and iconic figures, and I will always say that wasn't I lucky to play with James McCarthy or play with Stephen Cluxton or even Dermot Connolly, or for those reasons, because they're just Dublin legends.
When you had the team holidays like the one you've coming up, do you feel like it brings you close together as a team ultimately in the end?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And it's not a million miles away from overnight camps or like a training camp. The last 2 years we've done a training camp at Boards Club, and you just engaging with lads differently. Like you're engaged, you're getting to spend more time with them, you're getting to know them better, and you might think you see each other all the time, the ins and outs of each other, but you don't know what's going on, and we try and address that during the season. We don't know what's going on beneath the surface for a lot of lads. And holidays and training camps and overnights and bus trips and that sort of stuff allows you to kind of just extend the network a little bit and spread your branches a little bit into lads and get a little bit deeper, get to know their partners, get to know their kids, and get to know what motivates them, gets them going. So it's amazing, yeah. It really brings the group together. And like, you can imagine how lads will come up in the holiday being like, why would I not do this again next year? Do you know what I mean? Why would I not want this feeling again? Do you know? So, well, hopefully, that's where.
People bring their kids to this.
Yeah, so apparently, yeah. If you have a child, it's an expensive childminding bill if they're not coming, I suppose. But and that's like we talk about it. This the DSF family, and they're all in, and team doctors who, from my expert, don't draw down a cent from the county board. They come with their families and their wives, and it's amazing, like, because we only see the players, we only see the doctors, we only see those people, Desi, the management, at a certain level, and there's a certain pressure to it. But to spend time with their families and their children is amazing. So John Small, for example, is bringing his son Charlie. They're potentially heading off to Orlando to the theme parks and stuff, and what a trip for them, So yeah, it's a magic few days, genuinely. Yeah.
What motivates you now as a player?
Last question.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Like, What motivates you now as a player different from what did at the beginning of your Dublin career? What
Probably.
keeps you coming back, I guess, yeah?
Yes and no, I would say. Like at the start, there was still a sense, like at the start, like it's different in many ways, but at the start, it's like prove myself, and still now it's prove myself in a weird way. And obviously motivation is different when you start like get into the team and just be on the bus and make sure your teammates like you. Like that was a huge thing that I felt. But now it's like I don't know, like it's despite all the medals, stats, whatever, like it's still like I have to prove myself again next year. Do you know what I mean? I have to go again and be the best. Like what? Like I don't want to go out in a game and Brendan Rodgers be smoking me again like he did this year. Like you know, I want to be like that. Like do you know what I mean? I just want to be Dublin's one of Dublin's main players, one of Dublin's best players. If not in the team, I want to be like helping the team. I want to be helping young lads. If there's lads starting out, I don't know, whatever. So the motivation is it's easy to kind of get going. It wavers. Don't get me wrong. Like at times it's like, geez, you're feeling the slog, and you might not have a game for a few weeks. You're like, geez, this is tough. And that's human nature, I would say. But in many ways, it's still the same. It's still like I'm still a kid who wants to play with Dublin and wants kind of to win. I would say.
We still only lost 2 championship matches.
Yeah. 2, hopefully not a 3rd. But 2, yeah. And like again, people are going to say, "Oh, you didn't lose for however long," but that was our team's. That was our team's period, you know. And still, since it's our team that has won, I don't play an individual sport. I'm not an individual rower. I'm helping out the lads. They're helping out me. So, genuinely, just lucky to be a part of this team, this era, this decade. It's been the best thing that's ever happened.